talking ego. Nothing is impossible. Don't take impossible. You're brighter than the stars. Welcome to another episode of Helping Brothers Out. I am Derrick D, Dixon, doing it in the 3D way.
And of course, it's me, Elwood, Mr. Klass Ingram.
We're talking
equals healing.
Because we are
helping these brothers out. See, we switched it up on y'all. Y'all thought
we switched it up.
Never pause, but we switched it up.
See? We switched it up. Y'all thought we was gonna mess it up. We didn't mess nothing up today. We got y'all on the fly. That's right.
Yes, it did.
How is everyone doing? We are so excited. We got Miss Terri Cann in the house from Queens, New York.
Yeah.
Hey. Queens in the house.
Queens in the house.
Miss Terri Cann, how are you? Sitting there looking all beautiful and everything.
She got the lip gloss, the lips is popping. She put lotion on. Laid down.
I can't look like my situation. I can't look like the quarantine.
I know that's right.
Okay.
We never want to look like what we going through. Tell them about it. Tell them.
Come on. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. We are excited to have you on Helping Brothers Out. Just to let you guys know that we want you to go right now, stop what you're doing, go to Be Inspired Global or to Helping Brothers Out. What you need to do at this point is go to this button. It's called the share button. On the share button, you're going to click this and share it out to everybody right now so we can all watch Helping Brothers Out at this time, because you don't want to miss the show. You don't want to miss it. So we want you right now to hit the share button, go to Be Inspired Global, click it, like it, share it, love it, do all those things so that way you can watch Helping Brothers Out. Me, Derrick D, Dixon, and down there, Mr. Klass. He's over there. I think he's over there today. So how's everybody doing? Miss Terri Cann, how are you doing? What is going on in New York?
Woo! Woo!
I think the question is what is not going on in New York.
Right.
Unfortunately, we are the hub for, our current pandemic. However, thank God that my family and I are well. We are constantly in prayer for other families. We are constantly begging people to stay inside. New York is a little stubborn. Until last week, they were. No, I don't know. I think this is on some next level. Until last week, they were still having block parties.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so they had to implement a fine, $1,000 fine if you're outside doing some craziness like that, because the people, they just not listening.
Wow.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, and it's just so important that people, pay attention what is going on. And a lot of people think that they're so immune that it cannot happen or nothing's going to happen to them. Within the last 24 hours here in Baltimore, over 984 deaths reported. So, and I know and that's within the last 24 hours.
Jesus.
So I think it's, just be safe. Just be safe, because it's, this is not going to last forever, but we can move forward if we listen, if we pay attention to what's going on.
Yes.
And, we've been praying for the families that have been affected by COVID-19. And, it's a hard situation. So you gotta stay prayed up. You've got to listen.
Yes.
Listen to the medical advisors and everything. I'm not going to say anything else about anybody else. I'm going to leave 45 alone. We ain't going to talk about that.
That's a whole nother show. Like, you have to have a second hour.
We need 2 hours.
Right.
And I don't want to hurt my head tonight.
I concur.
Yeah, so because one minute he said one thing and another minute he said another, but we're not gonna go into that. We're gonna leave that alone. So we just want to continue to send out prayers to everyone that have lost loved ones, people that are been affected, that are in the hospital and everything. We send our prayers, we send our love out to you. But just take your time to listen, wash your hands, and just do the right thing with your mask over your face and things like that.
Yes.
So it's so funny the other day, and we're going to introduce Terri Cann in just a minute. The other day, I got some KFC for the kids.
Okay.
And after I ate, all of a sudden my throat started hurting and my stomach was hurting, and all that I gave me the cold, and then gave me the cold. So now I'm so afraid to eat out.
Listen, we haven't done it. We haven't done one time. One time we got takeout pizza. My husband immediately came home. We put it right in the oven just for a few minutes, heat up, whatever, could potentially be. But yeah, we just been doing a lot of cooking. More cooking than I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been cooking.
Yeah.
Mr. Klass, what have you been? Now I know you like to eat out.
Yeah, no, I've been cooking. I do a little bit of.
But you're a picky eat out.
Yeah.
You're a picky eat out.
Yes. If I can't, every way has to be my way. Like if you can't make it that way, I'm getting out of line.
I can eat with you any day.
Right.
I can't.
See.
Yeah, but I mean.
But Terri, me. Me and Elwood have been friends for quite some time now. And what's so funny is that we have so many similar ways. Like eating a sandwich. I need it to be plain. He's the same way. Don't put nothing on my sandwich.
Okay.
Send it back.
We are very, very, very picky eaters. And I'm like, if I eat out, I need to see you make it. I don't like to go through the drive-thru. I need to go in.
I hate the drive-thru.
And why? I hear you.
Yeah.
I'll be that one that every time I go to the drive-thru now, I'll be looking in the window like, who is it? Is James in there? No, James is nasty. I'm going.
That's hilarious. See, I'm that friend. My friends get a little annoyed when we go out because of the way I order, especially like when it comes to my omelets. I'm like, okay, it's a 3-egg omelet. I want 2 egg whites and 1 egg, and I want all the veggies, and I want half a slice of cheese. Like, I'm very specific, and they just be like, oh my God, when is she gonna finish?
Like, no, that's it. Put a whole slice of cheese on here. Send it back, baby. Send it back.
I just specifically asked for half. So I'm that friend.
Yeah.
Well, look, Terri, I'm going to do a little icebreaker, and this both you and Mr. Klass can do it, and then I'm going to give you a proper introduction. All right. So, what does SO spell?
So, is this a trick question?
Okay. Yeah. What does UP spell?
Up.
Okay. So again, what does SO spell?
So.
And UP spells what?
Up.
All right. So what then, if you put them together, SOUP, what does that spell?
Soup.
Oh, y'all got it.
Oh my God.
You gotta be quick with it. You give us too much time to think.
See, because some people say so up. All right, y'all too smart for me, all the smarty pants.
That's funny.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning into Helping Brothers Out, we have Miss Terri Cann in the house from Queens, New York. Give it up for Queens, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. She is a gospel recording artist known for her unique Afro praise sound. She has been using time of quarantine to uplift others, not just through her powerful music, and upbeat lyrics, but also through her inspiring YouTube videos and social media posts, known as the COVID-19 Encourager. Terri has chosen to take focus off of herself and turn it on to other artists through her weekly At Music Monday with Terri Cann interview seasons, and she is highlighting their ministry and the community service efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Terri Cann from Queens, New York.
Yes.
I like it when you read that. It made me feel a little good about myself. Thank you.
As you should.
See? You sitting there like, is that me? Did I do
that? Right. Like,
who wrote this? Shout out to Naomi, my publicist.
Okay. Oh, no. So listen, Miss Cann, tell us a little bit about you. Now, one thing that I did read about you is that you came back into the music industry. So you must have left for a while, but 2018,
yes,
you came back into the music industry. See, I do my little background checks.
Okay. Okay.
And you are now starting a project called The Diary of a Psalmist.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that. I love that.
I got to hear more about this.
Yeah, I love it. The Diary of a Psalmist. Let's hear about that because you've been on a journey and you have several singles out.
Yeah.
And my main one I love is Dance.
Okay.
Yes. I love the video.
Thank you.
I sat up last night watching the videos and listening to Dance and everything. So tell us a little bit about The Diary of a Psalmist.
So I have been recording since about 2010 is the first time I actually put something out as a recording artist. And fast forward to 2013, that was the last project that I put out. I got married to my gorgeous husband in July of 2013. And then I got pregnant right away. Surprise. So I had to take some time off. I in my head though, I was just like, well, Mary, they're always pregnant and they're always recording, so I can keep going with my, my music career. Unbeknownst to me, I would be very sick, and I was not Mary. So I had to take a pause and sit down. So after I debirthed in 2015, debirth. I make up my own. I make my own vocabulary. I should have forewarned you. I have the Terri dictionary. In 2015, I said, well, I wanted to come back to the music scene, a little different because I'm also an actress. So I came back with the First Lady web series, and we worked on that for about a year, and then surprise, baby number 2.
Oh wow.
So yeah, y'all was marrying it on out of there. I know that's right.
Okay.
He said, baby,
I see what you did there. I see what you did. That's right. So after my second debirthing, I said, okay, we're going to shut this down. And in 2018 was my comeback. Excuse me, and I came out with a Christmas EP that featured the Afrobeat version of The Little Drummer Boy, and I did my own Christmas medley. I always like to think of ways to come back kind of with a bang. My background is in PR and advertising, so I'm like, okay, well, how can I come back that people are like, ooh, who's that again? Hey, I remember you. So I always try to do things like a little unconventionally. But prior to that, like from 2010 to 2013, my music, although it had been Christian, had been a mix of genres. Like, so Christian pop, I was kind of doing like the contemporary Mary feel. I did the neo soul, and in my time off, God was like, Terri, all of that stuff that you were doing, all the music, it's great. It was really cute. but I have called you to be a psalmist. I have called you to be a praise and worship leader and a praise and worship facilitator. And I knew that it was God because I felt different when I was ministering on stage, my just original stuff, as opposed to like leading praise and worship and service. It was just two different fields. So that was my confirmation that praise and worship should be my focus. And sometimes God tells us something and we think it's like this instant, okay, epiphany, so we're going to dive into it. No, it took about a year, and it took for him to, I'd say a year and a half, and it took for him breaking me. And I had to go through some things to birth out this song, to birth out these songs rather, for the Diary of a Psalmist. So these songs that you're going to hear on the Praise and Worship album is just songs that derived from me, I like to say, fighting through my worship, fighting to live through my worship, you know, and fighting to live through my praise, because praise was my weapon of choice at that point. So God had to, I believe wholeheartedly that God had to break me and put me through a season in order to birth these songs authentically, you know, because you can have people write songs for you. There are a million songwriters out there. But when it comes from you and it comes from deep within, it's just people can feel and see that this is something different. This is something authentic. Sorry, that's a really long answer to your question.
No. The way that, see, the one thing that I definitely was able to pinpoint about you, so I have a method of madness. I'm always thinking. And just from our general conversation just beforehand, and just the regular la-di-da conversation, then now when you're speaking about what you're actually doing, your passion bleeds right through it.
Thank you.
And it's like I can feel it, I can see it resonating like right through the screen, although we social distancing. But when you bless, the blessings are sneaking your window, everything. And when you talk about, you know, some things that you're passionate about, and some stories that you actually, some things you had to go through, and the being as though you were able to put those type of things onto paper and be able to resonate it through the young, through the old, because listening to some of your stuff, it doesn't have an age bracket. It doesn't have an age bracket at all. The stuff that you talk about it's nothing but truth, nothing but facts, and stuff that we all go through. And I felt that, and I saw it come through as you were talking about. And that's why you may feel as though it was long. Okay. But I didn't feel as though like, oh no. When you talk about something that's passionate, look, you won't listen. You won't listen. You got to get this. Because you got to go through some things to get where you've been. You got to be rebirthed.
Okay. Sure. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So appreciate that. Definitely.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, Terry, what at this time during this COVID-19?
Yes.
You know, we have to keep ourselves inspired. You are working on the Diary of a Psalmist, and you know, moving forward with your project. How do you keep yourself motivated, and what is inspiring you during these times?
That's a really good question. I might have to steal that from my show. My purpose, you know, my purpose, my God-given purpose. I've known since I was 16 years old that my mandate was to spread the word of God through the arts. And so sorry, with that mandate didn't come a promise that things were going to always be easy, or things were going to just be like this la da da running through the flowers, you know, kind of life. So in times like this, I remember my purpose. And first and foremost, in times like this, I have to remember who God is. Right? Because I put out a video entitled "God's Position Has Not Changed." Like, he is still king over all of this. Nothing, this global pandemic did not surprise him. He wasn't like, oh my God, there's something called COVID-19. Like, right? And his position has never changed. You know, so if his position has never changed and my purpose has never changed, why am I changing? You know what I mean? We're still going down the same road. Now there's some stumbling blocks that have come up, you know, like you play video games and things pop up, but you're still going down the same road. So you just got to kind of knock them down and keep going towards the same destination, basically.
So has this changed your writing techniques and things that you speak about, being as though you guys have been on like lockdown for a good minute? Has this changed your whole process and your thinking process? And does it slow it down? Does it speed it up? Like what's like your entire process? How has that changed in a way?
So I would say that there has been a mixture, because some days it's like it's a blessing and a curse, but my mind is like a fast forward button. I'm like what can I do, right? And I thank God, like I talk about my husband a lot, not because I'm totally in love with him, but he checks me sometimes, right? And he's just like, have you rested today? Have you prayed today? Have you read your Bible? And you know, because I don't know when this is going to happen again, that we actually have a time to just be. Like, usually I'm out. I'm just like, from 7 to this, I'm doing that, and then I'm out. I'm at work. I'm this. So we hope, prayerfully, we won't have this time again where we're quarantined for months on end. But in this season, I had to really stop myself and see the blessing in the fact that I can actually be still and really hear from God and really self-reflect. You know what I mean? Silence is deafening to some people.
Yes.
Right? But that shows, but you know, you love it because that shows that you're confident in who you are. You know what I'm saying? You don't need much validation from people. You don't need to go out and dress up and have people like and say stuff about you. You can really just be, you know? So in this time, I'm really trying to be still as much as I possibly can. I'm just gonna be honest. It doesn't always work. Sometimes my mind is still like, okay, you got to do a show, you got to do this, social media, branding, But I'm trying as hard as I can to really take those times because I know in the silence is when we can really hear God clearly.
Yes, indeed. Peace be still. That's what he said.
Right.
And you said something powerful. You said something powerful. That once you can sit in your silence and be still, when you can listen to God and everything, you are secure of where you're at, who you are.
Yes.
And you open yourself up to be able to you know, a lot of the question that what you said earlier is that, you know, knowing your purpose. If people would sit and listen, because if they really don't know what their divine purpose is in life,
right,
this is such a time to know what that purpose is. And a lot of people, I say, well, how do I know? We had this question in Bible study the other day. How do you know how to find your purpose? The purpose is something that you've always been doing.
Right.
So if you would just take the time to understand, what is it that I truly do? Now, me and Mr. Klass, you know, we are in yourself. We are in the industry of acting and modeling and fashion and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That's not my divine purpose. You know, my divine purpose, I always say I have 3 adopted boys. My divine purpose is to interrupt the pattern. My divine purpose is to inspire others.
Right.
So, you know, the other is a God-given gift, but my purpose is why I'm here. And if people would just take their time right now just to understand that God is doing this for a purpose.
Very good. Very good.
You know?
Yeah.
So you took me there, Terry. So
keep going. And I think if I may add on, I don't want to go over time. If I may add on to what you just said.
Oh, we good.
Good. I think that in this time, some people may be discovering that what they thought is their purpose is not really their purpose, because a lot of people have settled into like their 9 to 5, right? I've settled into my 9 to 5. I've let my dreams die, and I'm just, you know, I am in my head, I'm content with this thing. And now I cannot go into work. You know what I'm saying? I might have lost my job, but I still have this thing that's burning. So wow, it wasn't that desk that I was sitting at, punching out numbers or data or whatever. So it's a really interesting time on like so many different levels.
Yeah. If you are just joining us, you are watching Helping Brothers Out, ladies and gentlemen. We have Terri Cann from Queens, New York. She is in the house with us today. She is a gospel recording artist. We're talking about her new project that is coming up, The Diary of a Psalmist.
Yes.
We had one of our listeners just say, Elena, is it Ayana Lee. Yes. Find your purpose.
Yes.
So, and that's what that's what we need to do in these times.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, Terri, tell us a little bit about, because it says that you are known as the COVID-19 encourager, and that's what we need during this time. I am not the type of person. I always find a silver lining in everything. There's always a reason for everything. And of course, we have our ups and downs, but I'm always that way where what is the silver lining? When am I supposed to get out of this? So as the COVID-19 encourager, how do you, someone that's depressed and someone that's, Mr. Klass was talking last week about people that are in abusive situations, that can't get out of the house and can't get the help that they need right now. How do you encourage these people?
Oh boy, Mr. Dixon. I thought we were just gonna go over some easy questions. I love it though. I love it. It's as you said, everyone's situation is different, and it's hard to encourage those. Like I felt myself. I was complaining to my sorority sisters the other day, right? And I had to kind of catch myself, and I was like, "Oh my God, my lashes have fallen out, and I can't get to the nail salon, and I want my hair done." And I'm just like, Terri, there are people on ventilators. Like, please get your entire life. So I had a moment. I kind of still do sometimes, but it's and just being grateful for the little things, right? And I think if we look at the minuscule things, then when we look at the bigger picture, even though it's still hard, even though it's horrible, it doesn't look that horrible. So people are like, I'm quarantined in my house. And I'm just like, let's look at that sentence. You are quarantined in your house. You have a roof over your head. There are homeless people out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't get my nails done, my hair done, my thing done, but you still have breath in your body. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, my kids are driving me crazy. Da 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 da. There are people that wish that they had some kids to be driving them crazy in the house because they're in the house and they're alone and they're depressed. So it's at every level. And you made a very specific example, and this is something that really tore me apart when I thought about it before. I'm like, what do you say to that woman who is in this abusive relationship, quarantined in the house with this man? And I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Dixon, Mr. Klass, I don't have a solid answer for that, because it seems like whatever is like, well, she should still be grateful for life. I don't know if she's taking this time to pray more, to come up with an escape route that when this is over, maybe in this time you're building up your confidence to really leave for good this time. Right. You know what I mean? I wish I had a solid answer to that one specifically, because that is something that really affects me when I think about it, or even the abusive child. I don't know if you're taking this time to Google resources like organizations that can help you. Like, it's just, I won't, maybe if you have an answer, please share it with me, because it's really hard.
That is a hard situation. And when Mr. Klass brought it up to me, I said, yes, you have to talk about it, because people are in those situations.
Yes, it's real.
And it is real. And you don't think about things like that. You know, like you said, we complain and complain and complain. We don't realize we have the roof over our head.
Right.
Or we're in, this wonderful relationship where the family is just, harmonizing together.
Right.
So, what about that man, that woman, that child that doesn't have that escape right now,
right,
or doesn't have the means to contact someone? They had the children are doing virtual schooling right now.
Yes.
And at the end, the teacher said she had to read something to the kids. So I'm listening in, and she said that if you are in a situation that you may feel it's difficult, you may feel it's abusive, please contact this number, or we can hook you up with a counselor.
Okay.
We can, so there are situations to me, however, that are being reported, which is good.
Good.
So my thing is that people need to reach out to family members.
Yes.
They need to reach out to sources that they can. I don't have it today, but we gave last week, Mr. Klass, we gave out last week the hotline numbers.
Oh, good.
So research your hotline numbers, and you're in the house together, but if you can find time to get somewhere and call somebody.
Yes.
Text somebody.
Yes.
And at least let them know your situation of what you're in, because it's already, we're losing people to COVID-19. We don't need to lose people due to domestic violence.
So maybe we just need to add to our prayer list that in this situation, this be the breaking point, right? Because everybody has that what is that statement? The straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah, that one. Maybe this will serve as that moment where the woman is just like, I'm gonna call that hotline, I'm gonna text somebody, and somebody's going to come and get me, and this is it.
And my answer to that is, this is something that honestly helps me get through my day. A lot of people think that I do my lives and I do these things to help other people, which I do, but a lot of times I'm actually talking to myself.
I hear you, yeah.
At the end of the day, the person that I have to see every day, the person that I have to listen to, the person that I have to wake up to every day is myself.
Right.
When I'm driving alone, I have to deal with my own personal demons.
Right.
So it's also a great key. This is for ladies, men, women, children. You can write it down. You can record yourself. But my best thing for me is recording myself. So if I'm going through a tough time and I'm trying to figure out ways through it, I'm constantly trying to battle with my own self.
Yes.
Honestly, talking myself out of doing some things and actually putting it in my head that it's not real, that it actually does not exist, that this too shall pass. And I read all myself, these scriptures and stuff. But
right.
When I go back and those videos pop up and those signs and everything comes back up, I listen to myself as if I'm not even myself.
I love
and then I start to resonate, and I start to see some things that I didn't see while I was going through those type of things. And then I start to recognize my own flaws, my own things that I'm personally dealing with. And then I come up with a personal healing for myself. So that's that's actually coming from Mr. Klass's secret corner. A lot of times when I do my lives, when I do these pouring out things, I'm talking to myself as well as I'm talking to someone else that may have triggered these ideas. But everything that I talk about that I actually have went through, these are things that I go through by myself. And when I go back and I look at it, I'm like, wow, I was really dealing with a tough time. I need to get out of that. Now I'm actually talking to myself to get myself out of certain situations. And it helped because I'm like, oh, well, you was crazy that day. I didn't know why you made this live, but you was on one that day. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and take that advice, and then it inspires something else. And then I piggyback off of that. Then I end up calling Derrick, and Derrick, he'll trigger something else, and I'm like, okay. And then so my story becomes a novel.
Oh my
And it
God.
becomes a masterpiece of my life, as well as it's resonating to someone else that may be going through something similar, that may be fighting something similar, or it may have triggered something else, and say, well, if he can do it and share his story and be that vulnerable, be that type of person that's that open and does not care what other people think, then why can't I? Why can't I start being like this? Why can't I do those type of things? Because I guarantee you, every time that I have stopped my live videos and I go into my silent mode, they call me up. My mama called, hey, what's up? You all right? And you ain't posting nothing, you ain't saying nothing today. I'm like, no, I'm all right. But then I'm constantly battling and fighting with myself, and I see the videos. I'm like, all right, Elwood, get out your funk. And then I go back on. And then every single time someone tells me, Elwood, thank you for sharing that. I never knew that about you. I always thought you were a funny guy. But I appreciate you and thank you so much for sharing your hurt, sharing your pain, sharing those goods, the ups, the downs, and everything. So I encourage you, write it down. Or do a self videotape, and trust me, well, at least it helps me, because I'm my own crazy.
Let me say, I hope that you know how powerful what you just said. Let me break this down. I know I'm not a host on the show. Let me take over for just 30 seconds.
Go ahead. Cause see, I like when I get Elwood riled up. Because when I get him riled up, he gets the preaching and everything. So
that was good. I'm like, everybody, put your Cash App to the comments. We need to send the bishop an offering. Listen, it was so powerful. It's so powerful what you said, because number one, it starts with you, right? Like, you can talk to somebody and advise them and pray for them and throw all the holy oil on them. If that person does not want to change, that person is not going to change. There has to be a self-realization, a self-awareness. It starts with you, number one. So the fact that you are telling yourself this is powerful. Number two, the fact that you're confessing this out of your mouth is powerful. Because even in the Bible, it says life and death is in the power of the tongue. Okay, I mean, Oprah talked about the secret and the universe. That's fine, but we know in the Bible, you can speak of things, right? And it's going to come to pass. So after you have this self-awareness and self-realization, now you're confessing it. That's saying, God, this is going to happen because I believe it, right? I believe it, and I'm saying it, I'm speaking it, I'm decreeing it, I want it, and it's going to happen. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. I just had to get that out.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Y'all was giving the word today. Oh, this is the COVID-19 encourager right here.
Right. She encouraging us. She didn't even know.
You encouraging me. It's your show.
Her answer was to get a different type of answer out of us to trigger her other answer that was deep down inside, and we dug it up. Yes.
Now you sound like a Pentecostal preacher. Come on.
I'm gonna get on my Teddy Riley.
We having a good time. We having fun.
I love it. Hey. I love it.
We are having fun. This is Helping Brothers Out, ladies and gentlemen, on Be Inspired Network. Please, once again, take the time to push the share button. You got to share this today. Yes. This is something good. Share it, click it, like it. Go to Be Inspired Global and tune in right now. Go to Helping Brothers Out. Tune in right now. If you are a friend of Terri Cann, go to Terri Cann's page on Facebook. Click it, like it, share it, love it. You guys we having a good conversation right here today. Yes, we are.
Mr. Klass, I cannot.
That's my Teddy Riley. Wait a minute, Francis is at the door. No, we don't need no Francis with us. You hear me? God. The audience wants us to start over.
Right.
Oh my God.
We can start this conversation over again. We can start this over again.
You got to catch it on the replay.
Right.
Miss Lee says we overcome by our testimony, and it helps people. And that is so
Ayana.
true.
That's my friend Ayana.
Testimony, that is when people hear your testimony, you don't realize what may seem small and minute to you is big to somebody else.
Right.
You know?
You never know.
you just never know what your testimony and how it is saving somebody. Yes. I am always, Mr. Klass. I'm like, man, listen, you have to be authentic. You can't worry about what people say, what they do. You cannot worry about that. Be you, be true to who you are, because people are looking at you and people are inspired by what you do and who you are and everything. So, you know, we as people have to learn to live our true selves.
Yes.
Come on.
And without fear. You know, we are not born to fear. So, and God didn't give us the discernment of fear. So therefore, the spirit of fear, we have to be able to know who you are. You have to be able to accept who you are. Mm-hmm. And then whatever little changes that you need to make, then you make it for yourself. You don't make it because somebody else don't like it about you.
Correct.
Right.
You know, if my toe curves to a little to the left, well, you know what? I love it. That's my toe.
Right.
Y'all don't get me riled up on this Facebook Live tonight. Please. Try to keep calm.
Listen, I know today is Thursday, but on Mondays, you have At Music Mondays with Terri Cann. Tell us a little bit about At Music Mondays.
Hashtag Music Mondays with Terri Cann. Okay,
now if I step away, that's because my good pastor is at the front door right here, and I gotta let him in. So keep talking. I'll be right back.
No problem. So it's hashtag Music Mondays with Terri Cann is an IG live that you can see every Monday at 7 p.m. at Terri Cann Music. That's my IG page. And we're getting up close and personal with some of your favorite artists. So we've had some amazing artists so far. I believe there's been 4 episodes. Yes, 4 episodes. We're going into episode 5 on Monday. It's been great because people, like, I take the first half an hour to kind of interview the artist, what have you. Then they may minister for a few minutes, and then the people themselves, they get to ask their own questions. So questions you've always wanted to ask this artist that you love on Instagram, and he won't answer your DMs. You type it in, and of course, I will screen the questions, but sometimes things get a little crazy. I will screen the questions, and then and then I'll ask them. The artist can respond, and it always ends off with them ministering in whatever vein that they minister in, and some COVID-19 encouragement.
I know that's right.
Wow,
that's right. That is a real blessing that you. So what actually made you come up with the whole idea to encourage people? Was this one of the times where you just felt overwhelmed and you was just like, look, I got it. I can't go out, but I gotta get it out. And in some way, somehow I need to release this because I feel like I'm maybe hiding my gifts from the world, and I know that being as though we're shut down, but this isn't shut down, and this isn't shut down, and there is a way to actually still get these things out. Like what pushed you to that point to say, hey, look, I'm gonna do this. I don't care who don't like it, but if I had one listener, one viewer, I'm still gonna talk about it. What pushed you to that point? Well,
if you haven't noticed by now, I'm a really happy person, right? And I love, just in case you haven't noticed, I love to make people laugh. I love I love to see people smile, and I love when people are happy. I'm just like the happy person. And excuse me, sorry. So
let me wipe my phone down.
Okay. when we got wind of this COVID-19, we heard about it in China, then we heard it was coming our way. And there was a deep wave of fear that came over the people. And I don't like fear, I like joy. And I said, I'm going to take it upon myself to do whatever I can on the gram, right? Because now everyone's quarantined, everyone's focusing on social media. So I just made it a point within myself that I am going to be that person that speaks out against the fear that this has brought, because it is not God's desire for us to be in fear, but rather the opposite. God wants us to be joyous. God wants us to have peace and all of the things that he has given to us. So I just took it upon myself. I said, it's going to be my job to remind these saints out there, the saints and the ain'ts, everybody, you have to know that to be encouraged, we can get through this together. Yes.
I know that's right. Well,
and then Go ahead, Elwood.
No, I was just going to say, no, I was going to close out because I got my virtual show get ready to start.
Okay.
I was going, but you go ahead.
So listen, before you leave out, tell us just a little bit, and then I'm going to finish up with Ms. Cann here. Tell us a little bit about the virtual show, and then how they could go on and watch that tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go on D Danielle Baker. D Danielle Baker. That's THEE Danielle Baker. That's on Instagram, so that will be going on live. It's actually going on now. I think they're still in the happy hour phase, but the virtual show is going on for that. And crazy part, how I got booked for that. Just a short story. I was doing just regular random video clips as I always do. And then somebody was just like, "Oh, share this," and I shared it. Somebody ended up seeing it and they recognized my face and was like, "Oh yeah, I know him. He's a good guy and he's always funny." Nice. This would be a great, because this type of virtual show, it's different. It's not your typical fashion show. I don't want to give away too much, but you're using household products and doing just different things and daring to be different. So I was able to get booked through that just by just being myself and still putting content out there. And when I put it out there, I was like,
"Are you doing this?"
Laugh at this, but it happens.
You never know who's watching.
Are you doing the show? Right. Are you doing the show at home? Your portion of it?
Yes. Well,
okay.
My portion is at a disclosed location. But that portion where I put on the performance or whatever is because they have to
it's a
screen it and do like
it's a safe location. It's a safe location. Do we need to put out on a tracker on you or anything like that?
No. I'm saying, hey, you know I got long legs. I will dart up out of there.
Because I got goons in Maryland. I live in New York, but I got goons. Just let me know.
I know. Hey.
Right. All right.
Right here.
All right.
But I will definitely see you guys next week. Sister Terry, I thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure speaking with you guys. I'll probably talk to you later. But I'm gonna go ahead and Teddy Riley it on out.
All right, I'm gonna join as soon as we're done here. I'm gonna log on to see you. I already added the page.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Love y'all.
All right, Mr. Klass.
All right.
Like it, share it, love it, all that other good stuff. We love y'all.
Peace. All right.
Yes.
How do I leave out?
So, Ms. Cann, I just want to let's go back to the Diary of the Psalmist. Let's make sure that everyone knows about this project. When is the project going to come out?
Wonderful question. It was slated for May. we were aiming for May. And then the global pandemic hit. However, things are still being worked on, which is, technology is an amazing thing.
Right.
So my producers are still working on track slowly but surely, because I'm actually in the middle of a fundraiser. I'm doing an Indiegogo fundraiser for it. So as the money is coming in, I'm able to pay for the production of it. And I have started to set up a home studio. So I'm going to be tracking certain things from home. So the project is not at a standstill. So right now I can't really give an end date per se, but I can happily report that it is in progress.
It is in progress. So ladies and gentlemen, you've got to go to Terri Cann. It's TerriCann.
Yes.
Go to her page and like it so you can keep up with her information. The project she's working on, the Diary of a Psalmist, and it will be filled with tracks from her heart that are birthed out of the most painful experiences in life, and where she had to learn to fight through. And she's using praise and worship in order to get a message out to the world. And I just pray that and just want to put it out there right now that this reaches just masses, not just in Queens, New York, not just in Maryland, but I want this just to reach the world, because you have a project that I think people need to hear, people need to know about, because I don't know if you know, but you have a healing ministry. And I just know that God is going to use your music and use you in such a way, because if you are the COVID-19 encourager and the things that you are doing throughout this project, you have a healing ministry. And
I think Thank you.
God is going to use your project in such a way, it's going to blow your mind. And by sitting still and listening to what God has for you, this project it did not cease. You're still working on it. And that's why you did the in-house, and you did the in-house studio and things like that, because he's not done with this project. He just needed you just to say, hey, I got some more to add to it. And that's what he's doing for you right now, is adding to it.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Now tell us a way that, because we can be a partner to this project as well. So how is it that we can partner with you to complete this project?
Well, as I said before, I have an Indiegogo campaign that's currently going on. I think there's about 20 days left. The goal is to raise $10,000 to assist with the project, because it's going to cost even more than $10,000, but just to assist with the project. And if you go to any one of my social media pages, the link for the Indiegogo campaign will be there. So you can just click directly on the link and it'll take you to my campaign page. Or if you're familiar with Indiegogo, you can just go onto the Indiegogo.com site and type in Terri Cann, the Diary of a Psalmist, and it will pop up there also. But again, the easiest thing to do is if you follow me on Instagram at Terri Cann Music, the link is in my bio. On Facebook, the link is somewhere, because I'm always pushing it. And I know that this is like the craziest time to ask for financial assistance. So if you cannot give, but you can pray for me, that is priceless, honey. I would take it. Or you can share. You can share the campaign.
$5 helps, $10 helps, whatever you can do. I think that we should help Terri and support this project. I had something on the tip of my tongue and can't think. So I just lost it, and I had it and just lost it. So real quick, I know. See, it's like, you know, when you are looking at the clock, making sure we're getting everything in.
Yes.
You have you said you have a background of acting.
I do.
So are you now? I am a playwright, so I write, and I have a play that I just put out, same script, different cast, and we have been touring. We did Baltimore twice, we did Atlanta. We're supposed to be in Denver, but because of COVID, we had to postpone it. So we'll be looking to see if we can do it later on this year, or if not, we'll just move it into next year.
Okay.
But how did you get into acting? What is your passion for acting?
So actually, a lot of people are surprised when I tell them that acting is actually my first love. And I started acting before singing. So at the age of 16, I started acting, and I never really cared to sing. I kind of just used singing as a tool to get into the gospel plays, because you know you can't be in a gospel play unless you are singing and acting.
But you gotta sing. You gotta sing at least a little note.
Right.
You gotta give them something.
A little something. So from the age of 16, I started doing gospel plays, and I have such a love for theater. And then in 2015, when I came out with my web series, that was the first time that I was really focused on film, because you know it's a whole different dynamic when it comes to acting for film and acting for the stage. So but I thoroughly enjoyed. I wrote, produced, and starred in my first web series, excuse me, the First Lady web series, which can still be found on YouTube. And every now and again, I get the acting itch. I call it the acting itch.
Right.
Because I have a thing where I try to do too much at the same time. So when I dove back into my music, I said, Terri, only music, just music. You're not gonna act. You're not gonna do fashion, because I also have my own clothing line. Like, I just do too much. Right? I just do way too much, and not forgetting that I have a whole husband and 2 kids. So I keep like having to put my blinders on and be like, focus on the music for now.
Right.
But I know in my heart of hearts, if a great opportunity came up to act, I'll be right on that stage. But okay. I love acting. I love it.
Wonderful. And then your music, this is where I was going. Your music has a lot of, I hear a lot of African dancing and a lot of African flavor in it. Where does that come from?
So my late father was from Ghana, West Africa. And I've always loved African music growing up. And when I came back out in 2018 with a Terri Cann Christmas, as I stated before, I like to do things unconventional. So that was really like a branding kind of scheme. I said, well, that's when Afrobeat was new to New York. Afrobeat has always been in Africa, of course. But it was like this thing that you're now hearing on the radio, and people are like, oh, what's this? So I was like, well, I'm going to tap into it. And I did the Afrobeat version of The Little Drummer Boy, just to kind of catch the people's ears to what I was doing. And I tell you, Mr. Dixon, when I went in and I recorded that to that beat, it felt so like, it was just easy. And I was just like, I feel like I've tapped into something that I should have been tapping into a long time ago. Like this side of me, you know? And I was just like, no, this is it. This is the beat. Because I told you that there was always a difference when I was singing praise and worship as opposed to when I was ministering original music. And I grew up in a West Indian African church, you know? Wow. So that was home to me, you know? And then I just said that I was also doing it in honor as a legacy to my late father, because he would have been really excited that I'm doing some African music to represent my culture.
Wow. And I'm going to tell you, when you hear it, like you said, there's such a feeling.
Yes.
When I see the dancing, when I see the clothing.
Yes.
There is such this vibrant feeling that you want to hear it, you want to listen, you want to move.
Yes.
And that's what drew me. I was like, well, that drew me in. And you don't hear it a lot, but when you hear that beat and you just want to move with it and stuff, that's inspiring right there.
Thank you.
So I really truly enjoy it. I just want to really wish you well with this project. Again, as we're wrapping up, tell everybody where they can find you, Terri.
So as long as you can spell my name, you can find me on the www, on the World Wide Web. My website is terricann.co. On Instagram, I'm Terri Cann Music. On Twitter, I'm Terri Cann. On Facebook, I am Terri Cann. On YouTube, you can just type in Terri Cann. I would love for you to add my pages so I can converse with you. I love talking to people, as I'm sure you know by now. I love talking to people. I answer my DMs, so you can definitely reach out to me. Terri Cann, TerriCann.
Well, Terri, I truly want to thank you so much for coming in and enlightening us of who you are, what you do. I really wish you well with your project. Ladies and gentlemen, she's got a project. It's called The Diary of a Psalmist.
Yes.
And you got to make sure that you go to her page again, Terri Cann, TerriCann, Terri Cann on all social media. Please make sure that you just check out her page, and because we got to support each other, especially during these times. Let's support each other. Let's make sure that we are uplifting each other. If it's just you just going on our page and just saying, hey, Terri, thank you for what you do. And I just want to personally say thank you for what you do, because we need more people in the world like you that are going out there and sharing. Our show is based on helping brothers out, but you know what? We are helping sisters out. We are helping the world out.
Awesome. You're awesome. You
so
are
that
awesome.
is what
Thank
we
you.
are here and what we are called to do. So Miss Terri Cann, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, also make sure that you go to Be Inspired Global Network, Be Inspired Global, and click it, like it, share it, love it. Do all those things, ladies and gentlemen. Also go to Helping Brothers Out. Click it, like it, love it, share it, do all those things. Also, you can find Helping Brothers Out on Instagram, on Twitter. For more information on everything that we do, please go and share our page. For those that have been listening in, we want to thank you so much for just keep encouraging us and doing what we're doing. Being here every Thursday at 6:30 on Be Inspired Global, also on Helping Brothers Out. Be here at 6:30. We're now 1 hour of enjoying us. This is our second show with Miss Terri Cann for 1 hour. We hope that you've enjoyed it. So again, Miss Terri, thank you. We are going to be checking on you and making sure what you're doing with your project and everything. We wish you well. Stay safe.
You too.
And all the well to your family. Make sure that the kids, your husband, stay safe and keep encouraging others to do the same. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, thank you again for watching Helping Brothers Out. My name is Derrick Dixon, and I am doing it in the 3D way. And you have been watching Helping Brothers Out.
Okay.